What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over their Q4 earnings, go over the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything that you need to be aware of. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is up about 1.5%, very volatile day, so 919 the high, 887 the low. During the pre-market, it was up about 6.7%, give or take. Unfortunately, the broader market is not doing that great, so it is kind of selling off. So NASDAQ down 1.23%, S&P down 0.93%. A lot of that has to do with a lot of tech and AI stocks having their earnings and flopping, so that's not the greatest. In addition to that though, PPI. So PPI came in month over month at 0.5, forecast at 0.3. Year over year, 2.9, forecast at 2.9. So overall, this is not great whatsoever, and this kind of pops the likelihood of a March and possibly even a April cut. So this did affect that slightly, so again, not necessarily the greatest. In SoundHound's case though, they did put out their earnings and it was a triple beat. So they did beat on earnings per share. Revenue, they did beat by 1.08 million, although in all fairness, as I mentioned though, leading into SoundHound's earnings, the expectations and the bar was set very low for SoundHound, so it's no surprise that they did actually beat. But one thing to take note of though is SoundHound is still one of the most diversified companies out there because of the revenue. Like, none of their customers made up more than 10%. So that's huge. That's actually a very good thing. And if you think about it, it actually might help in times of volatility and uncertainty in the market. So that's something, again, maybe to kind of take note of though, but still SoundHound did raise their guidance, so they did have a triple beat. So going into their earnings expectations for 2026 was between 226 and 240. So they did extend it to 260, so between 225 and 260. So that's fairly good. Second half of 2026, they are going to be really putting the pedal to the metal and expanding, looking at new customers and possibly acquisitions. So that's something to look forward to, at least, and I believe they mentioned in the second half of 2026. So that's kind of a good thing. One thing that was a little bit more of a cause for concern for analysts is dilution. Dilution is, I think, any company similar to SoundHound, like, they need money and they will need money. Luckily enough, in SoundHound's case, probably not until similarly the second half of 2026. But these were some of the risks and concerns. So ultimately, capacity. And this is something I believe it was mentioned about 2 quarters ago when they said that they were going to be getting kind of a couple of new customers. And some analysts were like, well, do you have the capacity to do that? So that's going to be something that SoundHound does do, is that they'll need to hire, expand, and so that's going to result in more costs. So all in all, that was kind of the main thing, plus again dilution second half of 2026, a little bit of uncertainty in the broader market at the same time for 2026. So I think in all fairness, this guidance between 225 and 260 was being still conservative. So most likely we could be seeing 300, possibly more, if they do have a nice surprise. And this will also cause a nice positive domino effect for 2027 and also 2028. So pretty good stuff as far as that. As far as profitability, still not anytime soon, but at least they're striving towards it. They're cutting unnecessary costs and so forth. So those were some of the kind of key takeaways, at least from what I heard. And I do want to apologize. I had every intention of streaming SoundHound's earnings, just unfortunately my child did get sick, so I couldn't really stream it. And well, I guess I could have, but I didn't want interruptions and so forth. So wanted to be, you know, put on the dad hat as per usual. But nonetheless, my apologies for not streaming the earnings. I think overall SoundHound's earnings was pretty positive, a lot of good growth and a lot of good also future growth down the line. Still no analyst ratings have been officially posted. I anticipate probably later today, if not over the weekend, a rush of new ratings to come out. So that'll be fairly positive. And like I said, I think overall there's, yes, some things to bring up that might be not the greatest for SoundHound for their earnings. I think a lot of people would have liked to hear them be a little bit more aggressive, but at least they were optimistic. Management did sound fairly optimistic throughout the whole earnings. So that's kind of a good takeaway. Regarding shorts, they are increasing 304,000 shares, 36.6% at the free floats being shorted, works to be 138 million shares overall being shorted. Regarding the options, market just opened about 15 minutes ago. We're seeing 1 million in calls, 680,000 in puts. Definitely a lot of money getting into SoundHound, both through common stock as well as options. 57% of all the options being done are bullish in nature, and there seems to be a consensus for it to be roughly around 9 to 950 by the end of today. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 8, so that might be just hedging. With today being Friday, we do have 4,000 at that 8, 5,000 at the 850, 13,000 at the 9, 7,000 at the 950, and 10,000 at the 10. So things could definitely heat up, and that would be a fairly positive thing overall. Aside from all of that though, as of right now, at the time of doing this video, we are seeing a lot of big money buys. So anything with a ask is a buy. So institutions are buying up SoundHound. And so again, if there's a lot of big things that kind of comes out from pretty much the end of the market close, I'll do a PM video as well. But right now, 6.4 million is the largest being done. Dark pool, I'll give you a quick summary of that as well. So for today, we are seeing a lot of transactions. Shorts are also fairly active, but we do see a lot of hold numbers. So 50,000, 20,000. So it looks like hedge funds are also buying up SoundHound. Right now, with it at 925, SoundHound is the only green stock, except for Netflix and TLT on my watch list. So today is a absolute bloodbath. SoundHound is doing fairly a-okay considering everything. So next strong target is going to be 970. Most likely won't be touched today whatsoever. But if we kind of get some good momentum, stay above 9, then in theory 970 could be hit. And then 818 is going to be that next strong support. Aside from all of that, on the actual chart itself, we've kind of been trending up, so we are still above that 10-day moving average. A real test is going to be that 50, and so that's sitting at 968. I know based on the implied move post earnings, that would have been hit. I think based on the options, we were either going to consolidate back down to that 10-day moving average or that 50, but because of the market just doing what it's doing, it's kind of just stagnant. But still, over the next couple of trading days, just watch for that 50-day moving average. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Are you bullish? Are you buying more? What's your kind of general takeaway from their earnings? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.